Hello and welcome to the Power of Integrity podcast, where leadership aligns with principles. I'm Ralph Adamo, your host, and today I'm delighted to have Jeff Roberts. Jeff Roberts is the founder, CEO of Sgt. Pepperoni's LLC, the owners and operators of Sgt. Pepperoni's Pizza right here in Orange County. Jeff also has a more diverse background in the restaurant business and the beverage business. I'd like him to tell us a little bit about that. But Jeff, welcome and thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Ralph. I'm honored to be here and really excited to spend this time together.
Fantastic. Jeff, I always ask everybody who's a guest on this show to share a little about their personal and professional journey. Would you kind of walk us through that narrative? You're a local Orange County native, I think, from birth, and lived here your entire life and have raised a family in this area and have founded your businesses primarily in this area. Tell us a little about that, your professional and personal life.
Yeah, well, thank you. First off, I am blessed that I grew up in Newport Beach, California. Developed some incredible friendships throughout my life there growing up here in town, and then attended San Diego State University, and then obviously moved back here after traveling around the world for about a year. Moved back here to Newport Beach, and I was fortunate, Ralph, to grow up in a family business that my father had started in the 70s called Balboa Beach Company. And that was a t-shirt and surf shop located on Balboa Island that expanded over to the Balboa Peninsula and at one point Fashion Island and out into Palm Desert and Palm Springs and Palos Verdes. So I grew up in the retail world from a very young age, and I learned the value of serving customers and displaying product and transacting. So that led to, after I finished my school studies at San Diego State University, in international business, it led to me partnering with my father. And we took the Balboa Beach Company brand and we started a chain of outlet stores representing all of the off-price for the surf, skate, and snow manufacturers that were based here in Orange County. We then became licensees for Billabong and Fox Racing. We built a small fleet of 32 retail stores in the Western United States, really had a great run there, and sold that business in 2006 to Billabong, and I joined a company, Volcom, which at the time was just recently publicly traded on the NASDAQ. I came on board as the vice president of retail and started a retail division, opening up stores for Volcom. Started in the prime main streets, the New York City Broadway, Kalakaua Avenue in Hawaii, La Brea in Los Angeles. Opened up a fleet of stores, including an outlet division, and built what ultimately became a chain of 72 stores, which was a wonderful group effort, amazing team that we built, and a culture that really created that magic to add that many stores. And we expanded on a global level as well with stores in Europe and Latin America and Asia. So a great run there for about 8 years. And then I moved over to 511 Tactical, another apparel brand based here in Orange County. And in between Volcom and 511, I bought my childhood restaurant, which was Sgt. Pepperoni's. Just an opportunity that popped up literally between these two career changes, and with a few other friends, 4 families in total, we took on the original Newport Beach location of Sgt. Pepperoni's, completely reinvented it, and launched it. It was really just a passion project for me. It was all about reestablishing my childhood pizzeria, a place where kids and families could come to celebrate. So as that's getting kicked off, I hired a team to manage that business. I then went to 511. I started a retail division there at 511. That was in 2013 when both of these things occurred. I was able at 511 to build an incredible team as well. And ultimately, with my legacy between the domestic and international store base, we grew to 90 stores before I handed the baton off. That 511 store base now is over 130 retail stores today. So quite a legacy there. And like everything I've been able to do in business, it's just all been about our people and building teams and empowering people and building culture, most importantly, revolving around people. So rewinding back to Sgt. Pepperoni's, in my departure from 511, I was able to really focus time on the Sgt. Pepperoni's concept. The brand became beloved. We reestablished it as a go-to spot for pizza. We became, the number one pizzeria in Orange County, as voted by Yelp and the Orange County Register and the LA Times. And fortunately, we've maintained that position for now 7 years in a row. So really focused on taking that original footprint of Newport Beach and expanding it into a location in Aliso Viejo, and then in Irvine by UCI, and just recently opened up our 4th location in Rancho Santa Margarita. So that business has become my principal business. In addition, after departing 511, I had an opportunity to become the first licensee for a military mission-focused coffee brand called Black Rifle Coffee. And Black Rifle, based out of San Antonio, Texas, and Salt Lake City, Utah, serves our military, active duty, and veterans and the first responders. I had an opportunity, Ralph, to open the first Black Rifle Coffee Outpost, which is a drive-through standalone coffee shop. I have one in Moore, Oklahoma with my partners and one in Fort Worth, Texas. So a lot going on, throughout my career, but just really, really blessed, very fortunate to say that, with the support of my family and an incredible team of partners, we've got to a spot now where we're really kind of specializing in hospitality and dining experiences and bringing the best of everything we do to the table each and every day.
Yeah, I know the firsthand the food product coming out of Sgt. Pepperoni's is absolutely delicious and high quality. What do you think it takes to run a restaurant successfully like that?
Well, I go back to what I said. It's the people, right? I mean, we brought great people together. It started with the product, our menu and the recipes. We got some great people together, including my partner Stan Frazier, who was a musician and a chef in creating menus. My wife Erica pitching into the food with all of our desserts. We just really focused from the very beginning on people, and we did everything with love. And truly, every day we open the doors to our restaurant, it's about literally opening up our doors like to our home. And we do it genuinely with love. And it runs all the way through the organization. It starts in the kitchen, which I call the heart of our business. The team that builds our product each and every day, it is 99% scratch kitchen, meaning everything is made from scratch. We don't have a freezer on premise. It is the most premium quality ingredients you can find anywhere. So we focused on consistency, high quality, and then guest experience. So the restaurant business can be a great challenge. I think most people know that the attrition rate is very high, somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 to 85% after 5 years of opening. So we really just work really hard every single day as if it's opening day. And it's always our people that drive with passion the business and the success of the business.
Fantastic. Thank you for that backdrop. I'm sure our audience had learned a lot about Jeff Roberts and his path to where he is today. When we think about the topic we're here to discuss about integrity, Jeff, what does the word integrity mean to you?
Integrity is just reputation, right? And presenting yourself well and following through on what you say you're going to do. And for me, it's following a mission and it's serving others. So integrity throughout our organization, and to me personally, it's setting the tone of what we're going to accomplish. And for us, the mission at Sgt. Pepperoni's goes way outside of the 4 walls of our restaurant. We're actually a community. So we were a restaurant and we still are and always will be, but literally we've been called a community because we are a space where people can come and fundraise for their organizations, or we can set a fundraiser and an effort to serve an organization outside of our 4 walls. And specifically, we have lined up for 13 years in a row now with Children's Hospital of Orange County, and that came to us through a neighbor who was dealing with a child who was battling a brain tumor. They started a foundation donating regular Lego kits to kids at Children's Hospital, Choc, OC. And we jumped in and we partnered with them, and we've carried that baton now for 13 years in support of Choc and the kids in the oncology ward. And that's one of many endeavors that we're completely driven by and focused on. So when I think of integrity, I think it's consistency, following through on what you say you're going to do, and committing to things over a long period of time. So I'm just really proud that, our culture and our team is 100% all in for our mission of serving the community outside of our restaurant.
Fantastic. And Children's Hospital of Orange County, Choc, I've been around for some time. I was on their professional advisory council, so I know them well, and they are quite an organization in terms of who they're taking care of and what they're doing for our community. So, congratulations to you for supporting that and doing it for well over a decade now. So, you are certainly holding the flag of integrity when it comes to commitment and staying through to the end.
Yeah, it's definitely. I was going to say, it's become such an annual theme for us that our team is just fired up, and I just need to add that each of our team members is welcomed anytime to go to Choc. We do service to the kids and to the families that are there. We bring our food a few times a year up, and it's just really special to see firsthand, our team members that may never have been exposed, but to really see and feel the impact that they're having on these young people that are dealing with their health issues.
Yeah, kudos to you and your team. Now, when you speak about team, can you share a little bit with our audience about how integrity plays a role with developing team and team loyalty?
Yeah, I mean, we look, obviously we look for individuals that have the characteristics that we're obviously looking for. So integrity and honesty and personality and a desire to serve. I mean, when we go through a process of hiring people, those are some of the first things that we're looking for. We've fine tuned our recruitment in the restaurant business. There's historically significant turnover. We work hard to recruit a team and members and people. We call them Sergeant Pepperoni's family members that have integrity and that have the same qualities that we have and possess and we look for. And I'm very proud to say that our turnover is out of this world in terms of the long-term commitment that our employee team has. We have members of our team that have been with us literally from the inception. Most of these young people that get a first time of employment opportunity, we'll start them like their junior or senior year in high school, and we'll see them all the way through graduation in college. And we support that the restaurant is really a place for them to learn how to serve people, learn responsibilities, learn how to clean in some cases. But we really want them to just sponge off of how we treat people and how we serve, like I mentioned, the community. So we're fortunate that we take our time in that recruitment process, and we have an incredible ability to maintain our employee base because they feel appreciated. And Ralph, we not only are they appreciated, but they're incredibly proud of what they're doing. They're proud that they're bringing the best pizza in Orange County to our guests, and they're proud that people are telling them how incredible Sergeant Pepperoni's is, and they're proud that they're doing that service that we're speaking of here today. So very fortunate. I owe it all to the team that makes it happen every single day.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, what impact do you believe integrity has on customer loyalty?
Well, I think the greatest feeling is, I'll just use as an example, Rancho Santa Margarita opening. It happened 4 weeks ago today. We grand opened that restaurant. We had an incredible ribbon cutting with some incredible people that came out. We had over 200 people at the ribbon cutting ceremonies. We were able to open with the national anthem. We had a local singer that was the voice of Rancho Santa Margarita, a wonderful woman who sang the national anthem. We had Pastor Kenny Luck from Mariners Church, Trabuco, came out and prayed over the restaurant, our families, and the community. And then we had dignitaries, the local city council, obviously the Chamber of Commerce, some local assembly members. We had an incredible guest, Don Wagner, OC Board of Supervisors. So we established right there at that ribbon cutting that we were different, right? We presented a check to $2,000 to RSM Cares, which is a food bank and serves the homeless here in Orange County. So we immediately said, this is who we are. And the guests who saw us that day came back that night and then came back 3 and 5 times over the first week that we were open. And it just spoke volumes, Ralph, about, if we just share who we are openly, people respond. And so it goes back to, integrity for us. It was an opportunity for us to showcase who we are, what we do. And we found immediately that people latched onto that. And then, very importantly, Ralph, we spent very little money marketing this new restaurant. The word of mouth spread like wildfire. Social media, small community groups that have text exchanges. Everybody talked about Sgt. Pepperoni's, what they stand for, the food quality, the experience. And I will be back down at that restaurant tonight, and we will have a line from the cash register out the door for 2 hours. And it's just such a blessing to see, that we can be ourselves, talk about what we do, stand behind what we do, bring a quality product consistently to the table, and we're going to win. So it's an incredible feeling, and it's just a nice. It's like putting that that big trophy on your desktop, saying we made it happen.
Yes, yeah, and making it happen is crucial, right? At the end of the day, to operating a business and operating a business with integrity. Jeff, can you share a moment where the principle of integrity played a key role in your professional journey and you used that as a cutting edge to make your decisions or came to your conclusions about certain things?
I would say, I mean, Ralph, just, the people that I choose to work with, right? I have, and when I say that, I'm talking about business partners. I'm talking about, our extended leadership team. So the senior level people that I've worked with, I have just really focused on surrounding myself with people that have the same thought process, the same integrity, the same honesty, and reputation. And I'm always looking for people that bring different skill sets that I might not be focused on to the table. For me, as a business professional and as a father of 4 daughters and as a husband, I feel very fortunate that my entire life has been uplifted by surrounding myself with incredible people who have supported, everything that we've done together. Right? I'm more focused on partnerships with good people than I am going at it alone. Just like I am, allowing and empowering our leaders in our organizations throughout my career. I quickly train and offload any of my knowledge, but I stand back and I let people prove that they have the skill set, and I just help try to provide guardrails for them. And I've been very fortunate. I can say that the vast majority of the time, people have really come out of their shell and succeeded as to become leaders and to grow just by allowing them to prove, that they possess that integrity themselves and that they can, really contribute to what we're doing. So I would say that's the biggest piece, is just surrounding myself with great people and being involved with people that make me better.
Understood. Fantastic. Jeff, is specific. Can you remember a specific incident in your professional or personal journey where the opposite side of integrity, someone in that relationship or transaction was lacking integrity, and how that unfolded and maybe even collapsed on its own weight? What may have transpired? I think each of us has a story where we've been involved in something that's lacking the integrity from the other side, and we've had to. I don't know. I'm curious as to what you encountered and what you did about that encountering.
Yeah, I won't name the company, but obviously there's only a handful that I've been involved with. But I spent 7 years of my life entirely dedicated to growing a fleet of retail stores where I sacrificed a lot. I was away from my family almost 26 weekends out of 52. 2 years in a row doing grand openings all over the country, all over the globe. And ultimately, we had an incredible culture and a lot going on. At the end of the day, the business sold. I think the valuation was significantly impacted from the positive on this enterprise value that our team had created, that I was able to start, this retail division and these retail stores. And ultimately, when the transaction took place and it changed hands with a private equity group, I just felt like I was left slightly in the dust, which was a humongous lesson for me in life. That you can give so much with an expectation that there's going to be either a financial reward or something great's going to happen at the end of the day. And just a reminder and a wake up call for me that, only I can control my own destiny. And being, that I was an entrepreneur right out of college, and I was able to build a nice little business, even with the struggle, we did well, which was wonderful. To be back in a position where I can control my own destiny and build a team and know that the buck stops with me. I just needed to get back into that position because I felt, unfortunately, like I was not properly appreciated or taken care of, when this big transaction took place. So again, I look at everything in life, Ralph, with there's the gap in the gain, right? So either something terrible or unfortunate happens and you can dwell on it and you can get stuck in the gap, or you can look at it like every good lesson in life, good, bad, or otherwise, and you gain from it. So I gained a tremendous amount of self-respect and self-worth, and it's bode very well for me as I've stepped into this, next chapter of really driving my own little business with partners in this little hospitality world.
I love that, the gap and the gain. Either see it as a gap and stay stuck, or find the gain and move forward. That's a wonderful way to envision what's going on and how we get unstuck, huh?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, Jeff, we have and I always ask this, we have a younger audience here that often listens in. They're starting their careers or they're early in their careers. What would you share with that younger audience about things that they should be doing or looking for or avoiding as kind of tips and insights for them?
Well, I think this is a great question, and it's so nice for us, right, that are a little more seasoned, I'll say mature or seasoned, to be able to share out some of our stories and experiences. I mean, I would say, I know this is cliche, but just follow your passion and find something that you really love and want to do. Don't go sell a trinket that you don't believe in. You got to find something that you truly believe in, and you got to be ready to work hard. You have to be ready to sacrifice. You're not going to be able to jump into the lead role right away. It might take 3 years, it might take 5 years, to be able to work your way up the ladder, but everything is a learning experience. I look at the first job out of college as almost an extension of your education, right? You have to sacrifice. You might not be paid the amount of money you want. It's just barely a living wage, but it's that learning, and it's working hard, and it's showing up, and it's working harder and better and more effectively than others. And then I highly encourage, once you've garnered some skill set, I believe the entrepreneurial spirit is what drives America. And I have a book that I would suggest. It's called 10X is Easier Than 2X. And for any young person, I know there's a lot of books and suggestions out there, but I encourage you to read that book and think about what your life would look like if you were in control of your own destiny. This book will help kind of teach you how you can be the most effective form of yourself, by ultimately learning how to work super effectively in a shorter amount of time. Most people think of a workday as an 8-hour workday, and they think they have to sit behind the desk and be there from 9 to 5. That's not the case. You can get in and power in the morning for 2 hours, go get a workout or a run in or whatever you need to do, and come back and power for 2 or 3 more hours at the end of the day, and you're going to be fulfilled. So I just encourage young people to, find something that they do, that they believe in, learn, be ready to learn for a longer extended period of time. And then I really encourage people to think about something that they can do, small business that they might be able to buy and take over. And then trust yourself, work with people. I love the idea of partnering up. Some people, would vote against it. I encourage people, when you have a trusted friend or a relationship and somebody that has a different skill set, there's nothing better than being able to share the responsibility of building a business. So that's my recommendation, Ralph, is get in there, work hard, prove yourself out, and then ultimately trust yourself and get out and build something that you can control your own destiny of.
Yeah, trusting oneself and controlling your own destiny. Powerful, powerful recommendations. Jeff, as we're kind of rounding the corner here and coming to the close of our show, if folks want to get in touch with Jeff Roberts, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate this opportunity. I like to make myself available. My email is Jeff, Jeff, at sgt PEPPS.com. Jeff at sergeantpeps.com. I invite anybody on your broadcast here to come visit Sergeant Pepperoni's in Newport Beach, Irvine, Aliso Viejo, Rancho Santa Margarita. Soon to be opening next spring at John Wayne Airport, which is super exciting. I love the opportunity to talk to people and share out. So, Ralph, I can't thank you enough for this opportunity today to be here with you. And, I admire you, and I'm so grateful that you and my good buddy, Jeff Olson, have partnered up together. Two incredible people that I admire in such an amazing way. That friendship with Jeff, as you know, goes back 50 years. And there is no better person in the world that you have selected as a partner that just reflects everything beautiful about life. Most importantly, integrity. I mean, there's a living example of true integrity. So thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today, Ralph.
Absolutely, Jeff. It's been a blessing, been an honor. Thank you. Go Sergeant Pepperoni's, my friend. Keep it up. Keep up the expansion. I know that there's more coming.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Ralph.
The information presented in this program is provided for informational purposes only. The information is believed to be reliable, but no guarantee of accuracy is made or implied. Expressions of opinion are as of this date and are subject to change without notice. The information in this material is not intended as tax or legal advice. Please consult legal or tax professionals for specific information regarding your individual situation. This information does not constitute a solicitation or an offer to buy or sell any security. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Ralph Adamo is registered with, and securities are offered through, Kovac Securities, Inc., member FINRA-SIPC, 6451 North Federal Highway, Suite 1201, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33308. Telephone 954-782-4771. Investment advisory services are offered through Kovac Advisors, Inc. Integrity Wealth Management is not affiliated with Kovac Securities, Inc. or Kovac Advisors, Inc. The mention of Black Rifle Coffee, BRCC, represents a conflict of interest as Ralph Adamo is a shareholder in his personal account. Any mention of BRCC during this podcast should not be construed as a recommendation and is for informational purposes only.